So we're here today with Rick Simpson, putting on a fantastic event. You've been on tour for the last few days. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what this event is all about today?
Well, it's just simply to educate the people to the real truth about the cannabis hemp plant. It makes the greatest medicine on this planet, and it's been denied to us because that's the way the rich people wanted it. The big money, the big industries, they all stood against hemp because hemp is a threat to their industries. And they went to the governments years ago and corrupted the governments and had the cannabis plant outlawed and villainized. And this is the situation we're in today. We have a cancer epidemic, no viable treatments beyond hemp oil that I've seen, or this is the best treatment I've seen. And, we've got doctors going in all directions, not following their Hippocratic Oath. And that's what medicine is supposed to be based on. So why aren't doctors following it? The whole world we live in today, it's just like it's all gone insane. And we have to get the people to stand up and take back their rights. And it's a natural right. For any of us to grow this plant, produce our own medicines if we so choose, or use the plant in any way we like. Because, you can make over 50,000 different things from it. Everything in our day-to-day lives could be made from hemp.
And what's your personal story in the sense of how you got involved in this kind of a movement in the first place and being so active the way you are, fighting for the people like that? How did that start for you?
Well, it started with a head injury for me in 1997. And, I worked in the hospital system for 25 years. I believed in the system. And I went to them, and of course, they put me on all these pills. It just made me worse and worse. And then about a year after I was injured, I seen an episode of The Nature of Things with Dr. David Suzuki, Reefer Madness 2 it was called. And I'd smoked pot before, but I never looked at it like a medicine. So when I seen that, I went out and I got some pot and smoked it. Well, sure enough, it worked better than anything the doctors are giving to me. But no doctor would give me a prescription. It got desperate. 1999, I was really on the verge of suicide. And so I really just come to the conclusion, like, if you're going to get help, you got to help yourself. So what I did, I just went out and I made some oil. And then it was 2 years before I actually had the nerve to take it. I was scared of it. I had no knowledge of what this, substance could do. But then 2001, the medical system cut me loose, and then I started taking the oil, and basically the rest is history. We brought out the cure now worldwide. Millions of people know about it, and the change is coming, and there's not a damn thing the governments can do to stop it. The governments are going to continue to try to hold this back, but you can't hold something this wonderful back. Yeah. The people know now. Millions of people worldwide have used the medicine. And there's just no stopping it now. They're going to want to try to control it for a while. They want the pharmaceutical industry to run the show, but that ain't going to happen. We're going to run the show now.
I'm Joanne Crowther, and I'm here to meet and talk with Rick Simpson and to promote Phoenix Cheers Oil. It saved my life. I was diagnosed with large B intravascular lymphoma in 2009. I had 6 sessions of chemotherapy, which were really quite horrifying and almost killed me, but I beat it, and I was doing really well. And then 3 months later, it came back in my head. I had 6 tumors in my head. They gave me 20 shots of radiation, and that near killed me. God, it was awful. And then for a year, I was great. I was cured. Everything was good. I raised $5,000 for cancer research. Silly me. And then I got sick again. They told me that the lymphoma was back, and it was now in my blood. They gave me 2 doses of methotrexate, which is not the way you pronounce it, but it's hard to. And both doses almost killed me. The second dose shut down my liver and my kidneys. They said, that's it, we can't give you anything more. Your treatment options are done. Go home, you're going to die. That was April 2012. They told me I would not make my birthday in June of 2012. Here it is, August 2013, and I'm still here. And it's because I started taking the Phoenix Cheers oil about 2.5 weeks after I was told that I was going to die. And within a couple weeks, I started feeling better. I wanted to go out of the house. I could get up off the couch. And within 4 weeks, I was almost normal. And within 6 weeks, I was in complete remission. It took me 2.5 months. I'm already working back full-time again. I have a nice normal life. I will take oil for the rest of my life so my cancer doesn't come back. And I can't believe that Rick Simpson's cure has been hid. Big Pharma has kept this cure because we can grow it in our backyard, because cancer research is a multi-billion-dollar industry. They don't want us to be able to have a free cure. It's just wrong.
And after you first were diagnosed, how much time went by before you heard about this new alternative to the radiation you were getting?
To be honest, I was told about Phoenix Tears Oil right at the very beginning, and my first reaction was, yeah, right. Pot's gonna cure my cancer. I'll go with the doctors. But when there was no other choice, I was like, let's try this. You never know. And the results were unbelievable. I have all my medical records and I'm ready to post and everything. I'm all good. I have proof.
I think the proof is exactly in people such as yourself.
I can give you proof with pictures. I can give you proof with my medical records. There is no doubt. I was next to death. And this oil brought me back to life. And I can't wait to meet Rick Simpson and give him a hug. I really can't, because the man saved my life.
Today is, of course, a Rick Simpson event. It's about the oil. Can you speak on the specifically medicinal benefits of medical marijuana?
Wow. Well, I think all use is medical in the first place, although maybe some young people are trying to hurt themselves by smoking too much. But for the most part, veteran users, once they understand what it does for them, if they're using it to help them sleep, if it helps them eat, if it helps them relax after work, all those things are medical. So everything's medical. We are blessed. Our bodies have what's called an endocannabinoid system that was discovered not that long ago. As a result of cannabis prohibition and looking into cannabis, they discovered that we have a whole system that produces these same cannabinoids, that our cells have receptor sites for cannabis, for THC and CBD and the other cannabinoids. That cannabinoids within our body, produced by our endocannabinoid system, are used to regulate all of our other systems. So when we're out of balance, and we've got numerous different systems running through the body, the cardiovascular, et cetera, when they're out of balance, your endocannabinoid system produces cannabinoids based out of the essential fatty acids in our diet to go and address those issues. And because they took hemp out of our diet, starting in the United States before that, but federally in 1937, they eliminated the production of hemp and took it out of the diet. It was not just in the food that people were eating back in 1937, in cereals and soups and using it for cooking and other things, but it was what they fed the livestock. It's what the farmers produced to feed their livestock. There was not bucker fields. They couldn't go down and buy feed. They had to produce their own feed. And of course, a 10 or 12 foot plant in 100 days with no effort that produces all these seeds that you can feed your livestock. That's why every farm in the United States had at least a little acre of hemp growing, and there was 8,000 plantations of hemp at that time in 1937. It does so many things. Like I say, because it balances all your other systems. Cannabis, when used, it's an anti-inflammatory, it's an analgesic, it deals with pain. Glaucoma in the eyes was the one that we all figured out first, and I think what should have been figured out first is people were using it to chill, like I'm all stressed out, I'm all anxious, and smoke a joint, chill, relax, get in touch with nature, get in touch with yourself, all those things. That's all part of our medical. Like preventative medicine is just as valid as medicine itself. In fact, it's probably more valid. And cannabis is great preventative medicine. It's neuroprotective qualities for the brain cells and other things like that. And now the evidence is starting to come in. The studies are finally being allowed to be done. And it's clear that cannabis is cancer preventative. In many cases with certain types of cancer, it shrinks tumors right down to nothing. And we'll find out more as we're able to research it more. And that's why it's been prohibited for so long, is because the pharmaceutical interests are so powerful, their leverage so great, and they have so much to lose because they want you using their pills. And really, their pills is a hard sell when you understand the side effects that come from them, and that nature provides medicine in the plants that helps heal us, and we don't need to have synthetics produced by companies that don't have good health as their motivator, but have more future sales and ill health as their motivator. But for people that are considering using cannabis for the variety of different medical benefits that it has, Dr. Lester Grinspoon said it best when he said, why wouldn't you use cannabis first? Because of the lack of side effects, the lack of possibilities of overdose and those things. If cannabis works for you, then you're lucky and that's good, and use that one. You don't need to try the other much more toxic pharmaceuticals. So that's what we'd like to teach the public here today, is that give it a shot, see if it works. It's not going to kill anybody in the process like some of those other things have the potential to do. It's not addictive like they lied and said it was before. It's less addictive than coffee. People learn to like it and want to keep doing it, but there's no physical dependency. It's not going to wreak havoc on your body if you try to go off of it or anything like that. So give it a shot. Try it first. See if it works for you. And really everybody needs to advocate for the repeal of the cannabis prohibition because it's just wrong. It's just totally wrong. Righteous people break bad laws. We're here doing our events because it's the right thing to do for good, patriotic Canadians and citizens of this planet to do. Not only do you have a right not to be bullied by somebody who's got power when you're vulnerable, but you have a responsibility that if you see that going on, you have to try to intervene in some way. It's just part of being human on this planet. It's a natural responsibility, just like freedom is a natural right. So we all need to stand up for everybody's right to do whatever they want, as long as they're not hurting somebody else. And that's what we're doing.
What I know with cannabis, the oils, see, we take people off of hydromorphine and opiates all the time. They're dying with cancer, they got them full of morphine. Well, in no time, within a week and a half, we can get these people off these horrible addictive substances. And then the oil takes its place. Well, you can take the oil, it's not going to harm you, you're not addicted to it. We can solve all this drug addiction that's on the streets. And so much of this addiction is actually caused by the damn doctors. Take a pill. And then you go back and then they increase the strength, and before you know it, well, you're a drug addict. Sad situation. I don't care what's wrong with anyone. Whatever disease or condition you have, I don't know of anything better to treat it with, than cannabis, because it's non-addictive, it's not deadly, it's not dangerous. It's man's oldest known and safest medication, for God's sakes. And really what I urge people to do is, unite. Take back your natural rights, because growing cannabis is a natural right. We grew it for thousands of years. It was essential to our survival. And then a few decades ago, they come along and outlaw it. Well, look where the world's at right now. If we had never outlawed cannabis, we'd all be living in a much better world. So stand up, take back your natural rights, and let's see real freedom in this country for a change, because we've never known it.